In the new version of Fluorite 10.6.10, we have further improved the REST API Swagger. Before, you were able to test the REST API using basic authentication, so you have to have a username and a password. But Floret is also capable of generating tokens. And now you can actually use tokens within our REST API to make calls. Beforehand, this was a feature where you'll have to use the API to do this, but now you can do that from our UI. Let me demonstrate that to you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to log into Flowrite and we're going to generate a token for a user. So let's go to user management and we're going to take Slava, which is a regular user, and I'm going to generate a token that is valid for 5 minutes. By default, it's valid for five. So let's go ahead and say generate, and now we're going to go ahead and say copy that, and we're going to log out of Flowrite and access the REST API Swagger. So if I just go to API here, you will see that I'll be able to access the API. And when you look at the Swagger documentation now, you will see there's a new button called Authorize. So you're going to go into this Authorize and you're going to plug in your token that was just copied and click the Authorize button. And let's close the dialog. So now that token is stored. Now we can go to one of these methods and we can test it out. And so let's go to user, get user, and let's see if we can get user information for Slava. So I'm going to go ahead and say try out this particular API call. And I'm going to type in the username Slava and say execute. And which is going to bring me back details about that particular user, the external username, the full name, email address, and the workflow user ID, and all that info. So instead of using basic authentication to authenticate the user, now you can also use tokens that are generated. Remember, the token that I generated is only valid for 5 minutes. After that token is invalid, you will make the calls. And typically, this is how APIs make calls to Flowrite using the tokens, which is a more secure way. And even using from other, platforms like Python or any other platform, you can talk to our REST API and communicate and perform things using web tokens. Thank you for watching. Hope you learn how to use our REST API with tokens and test it, especially using the Swagger documentation UI.